another gorgeous day out here in southeast Missouri. It is, I don't know, 65, 70 degrees. And it is sunny out. It's not snowing, it's not cold, a little breezy, so I apologize for any wind noise, but you know, I got Percy up there enjoying some pre-spring grass. Anyway, so I want to give a little update on the channel. Still have the 740 sitting here. It's been sitting for about a week. I have a bad coolant temp sensor, which I'll go through a little bit later on in this video. But you guys know that with it being spring, there's always work that needs to be done to get ready for, well, it's not spring yet, it's still winter, but it's 65 degrees in Missouri right now. So anyways, so some plans. I got my old weed eater here. I got to put I'm going to try a new carburetor. I was having a lot of problems later in the or all summer getting it to run right. It never ran right. And then I have my chainsaw here. I got to get it running. I got the lawnmower down there in the barn. I got to get that dug out and get that figured out and get that working. I got to get the truck washed. The truck is, well, it's a mess right now because the weather's just been so crappy. And then I also have to go through the truck because it's got something going on with the driver's side here. It's a little loose. And then I got a lot of work to do on the Volvo also. I know you guys love the Volvo. I got a lot of subscribers off of that, so I appreciate that. And then the other thing is I gotta get out and do some more fishing this summer, spring and stuff like that. So that's kind of the update for the channel. I want to, like I said, get some more work done to Volvo, do some more fishing this spring and summer, and just bring you guys more content. But I really need those subscriptions to make it all worthwhile. Without you guys, it's kind of hard to be motivated to make more content so I can, you know, do this. I like doing this. So anyways, that's the update for the channel. So this video, I'm going to be going through the Volvo. I got to put, like I said, I got to put a new temp sensor on it. The old one is not working, I guess. I got to check engine light. I'm going to show you guys how to do a check engine light on these Volvos, because these Volvos are pre-95, 96. I think 96, 95, they went to OBD2. So this is an OBD1. So there's really no way to check the check engine light unless you do the old jump the plug, get the light to flash. But Volvo is really smart in what they did. They actually have a little block in there that you put a peg through, and you hold down a button and it tells you the code and tells you what's wrong. So we'll go through all that once I get everything set up out here, get ready to work on the Volvo, and then I'll be coming back at you guys with that next. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to show you how to check the check engine light on this car is on, and I'm going to show you guys how to check it. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to get in your car. You're going to go to the number 2 position on the key, and come out here, and there's this little black box right here. So this here is where you check your codes. Really need to fix this one these days. Anyway, that's out of the way. So you pull that off. If you look in here, you got this little cap here. Pull that cap off and you got a little peg right here. What you're going to do is you're going to stick it, it's going to sound really weird, you're going to stick it in the hole that's labeled number 2, and then you're going to hold it for about 3 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3, and then it's really hard to see. You can see the light blinks there. I'll do it again here so you guys can see the whole process. So it blinked. So we're going to go down 1 1000, 2 1000, 3, and then you'll see 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So there's a code. So basically what you do is you write that number down on a piece of paper, and then there's sites out there where you can look up the codes for these. So the 1, 2, 3 code is for the coolant temp, or the temp sensor. There's actually 2 temp sensors on these cars. It's kind of hard to see here. So underneath the intake runners, so you got 1, 2, there's 1. It is right about here, if you guys can see. That one's for your sending unit, or for your, not for your sending unit, but for your gauge in the car. And then underneath the 3rd and 4th intake runner, there's a second coolant temp sensor. That one's actually the one that sends it to the computer. So the one I have is bad, it doesn't work, and I've noticed really rough idle, really bad idling at on colder days. It does run better on warmer days. So what we got to do is we got to take all this out to be able to get underneath here to get back there. We need to replace that line too. There's a lot of rubber lines in here that really need to be replaced. The fuel line doesn't look too bad. I'm going to end up replacing this line here, and then up here is the line for the vacuum advance, which goes to the distributor, which at highway speed advances the timing so you get better gas mileage. That was all dry rot, it had a hole in it, so I'm going to replace that. This boost line here, this is for the boost gauge. This will eventually get replaced. I'm going to put an actual boost gauge in the car, and then I'll be replacing this line here, which is for the brake booster, so that's all nice and dry rot and it's hard. So with that being said, let's get to work. Let's get some stuff off the car. Probably going to go through, I am going to clean off this throttle body today once I get it off, and yeah, let's get started. Alrighty, so I'm trying a new hat clip cam thing today, my GoPro, so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. 7. Forget those are 7s. I swear I know how to use this thing. Oop, wrong way. Maybe I don't know how to use these. I had to take this off once when I redid the alternator, and I don't have that video because, well, that footage sucked, so for lack of better terms. All right, I'm gonna loosen that out and take this out. So one thing I notice with these cars is there's not a lot of info on how to do stuff with these cars. So I'm hoping that doing this stuff I can help you guys out how to work on these cars. Do have some blow by. I do think I heard there's a drain plug on the intercooler of these cars to drain out the oil. So we're going to try to do that at some point here. Okay, so I'm going to get these off. That clip's not even working. Alright, so that comes off of there. That comes off your charcoal canister there. Now, I've never taken this throttle body apart, so I apologize. It takes me a second to figure out how to do it. That cable out. This cable comes out the other side, it looks like. Yep, there we go. Alrighty, so from the looks of it, doesn't even work anymore anyway. So looks like I got some bolts here. I got 2 up here. I got 2 down here. 1,
maybe I only have one down here. So it looks like 3 bolts. It's going to take a wrench to get off. This here is probably feeling this electronic choke. Let's see what size those are. 14, 13. Dog's around here somewhere. I don't know where she's at, but running around. Wrong way. There it goes. Sometimes you don't need. Anyways. Looks like 1/4 inch there. 3/8 I got, it's gotta be too big. Anyways, sorry, I'm talking to myself there. I got some fuel line up there. Oh, there we go. So, coolant temp sensor is right back here. You guys probably can't see where I'm at right now, but just unplugged it. Here's the plug for it. Alright, let's figure out what size to go on there. I think I heard it's a 3/8, something like that. Oh, there it is. Alright, so I need to go get another 1/2 inch extension. Let's go get that. Alright, so I want to show you guys kind of where this temp sensor's at. I don't know if you guys can see. It's really hard to see, actually. I think there's a intake runner's in the way. It's actually right there where my finger's pointing. You can kind of see it there, down there with this hose, but yeah, it's right there. See, yeah, right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know if you can or not, but that's where it is. So you need a 3/4 inch Jeep well socket and then some 1/2 inch extensions to get back there. Put this back on. I got too big of a 1/2 inch extension here, but we'll see if it is or not. It's actually relatively easy to do. Yo, I could probably get, I might be able to get my wrench in there. There we go. There we go. Now you might lose a little coolant out of here. It is where coolant flows. So, yep, there's a. There we go. One coolant temp sensor. I didn't put any thread sealer on there, so I'm not either. So I got a little washer on there to keep it from having to do that. So here's the new coolant temp sensor. Sorry, it actually got kind of breezy out here. But hopefully you guys can see there's the new, there's the old. So let's go ahead and put this new one in. that's nice about these older vehicles. They're a lot easier to work on and figure out. Go. Get that threaded in there. Yep. Now, one thing I do have to be careful of is, since this is a rather big wrench here, is make sure I don't tighten it down too hard. There we go. That's all needs there. Now you can use a U-joint, makes it a little bit easier to get to. But that worked just fine for me there. Where's she at? What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing out here? Huh? What are you doing? My girl. You my girl. So, after it gives the dog a little bit of a pet, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna put everything back yet because I gotta do this thing up here. I gotta put the new hose on there, and it's easier to get to with all the crap out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I gotta switch batteries on the GoPro. This thing eats batteries like crazy, so I'm gonna go do that, and when I come back to you, we'll be fixing that hose. We're gonna take the throttle body off, clean that up a little bit, and then put everything back together and maybe do the hose. I don't know, I think the line I got's too big for this. So all right, we'll be back. Alrighty, so we are back. So the one thing I'm going to do is, so this here is the vacuum advance. It's hose is all dry rot, and it actually comes down to this little T here, and then it's got all this stuff here. This goes back to the distributor and advances timing, if I'm right. And then kind of cool, that starter's real easy to get to. It's nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this hose right here, and then get this out of my way, go from there. And then I gotta see if the line I got is gonna be good enough for this. I think the stuff I got's too big. I got 3/8. This doesn't look like 3/8. So with that being said, let's go ahead, let's get this old hose off. Probably gonna have to end up cutting this, make it a little bit easier. I'll probably get someone in the comments, oh, you don't have to cut it. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, it actually looks like desert floor, and it's dry. It's dry rot pretty good. So I got some new stuff in the car, or in the truck, I guess I should say. Might work on there. So this is the fuel line I got. I have a feeling it's a little, actually this is the fuel line, this is the stuff I got for the other thing. I might reverse this, I might use this stuff here on this. It's a little bit better there. And I'll use this stuff. Yeah. Let's see if this says fuel hose on it. Yep, fuel injection hose. So this will work for the fuel line. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this little thing off here. And then, yeah, get that set up. I was trying to figure out what this hose was for. I couldn't find anything out there on it. It's crazy. I just happened to find, like everything with this car, some obscure post out there on the internet listing out what it was, and it said it was a vacuum advance. So yeah, you know, it's always fun trying to figure out stuff on cars when you don't have any idea what it is. Okay, so I'm going to get a air clamp for that. I'm not going to use the original clamp. I'm not a big fan of Caterpillar clamps. So what I like using are these. Might be a good size there. And a little big. Right there. So ear clamps, I think is what they're called. You get them relatively cheap off Amazon, and I like them. I almost made a mistake of not putting the clamp on it. Now these ear clamps aren't reusable, I know that, but yep. All right, I haven't put one down here because that's a pretty good fit there. So the next step is I want to take the pressure off the fuel line. There should be a Schrader valve on here somewhere. I thought there was. Alrighty guys, so I figured out the Schrader valve. It's this right here. So all you have to do is loosen this up and that'll take the pressure out the fuel rail. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the fuel pressure regulator so I can take off that line. Two 10s looks like. Yep. About wearing gloves, I really can't. It's really hard for me to feel what's going on. Frick, man, that hurt. Okay, a little bit of fuel dripping out. Alrighty, so that off. There's the fuel pressure regulator. Not a big fan of messing with gas, but here we are. Alrighty guys, so I figured out the Schrader valve. It's this right here. So all you have to do is loosen this up and that'll take the pressure out the fuel rail. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the fuel pressure regulator so I can take off that line. Two 10s looks like. Yep. One thing about wearing gloves, I really can't. It's really hard for me to feel what's going on. Now, hopefully, we can take this off. Don't hurt nothing, so I can just put it back on. Frick, man, that hurt. Okay. A little bit of fuel dripping out. Let's see if I can't find a rag for that. I got paper towels in the car. There's a rag. Alrighty, so pull that off. There's a fuel pressure regulator. Not a big fan of messing with gas, but here we are. Yep. I think this stuff here will work just perfect for it. I am going to ear clamp these instead of clamps here. You can see how dry rotted this line is. I mean, yeah, that's how old it is. There we go. All right, so there's the old fuel line. I'd say that would be perfect right there. Measure this out here. Kind of, sort of. I need a new blade. I need to get new blades for these things. Alright, there's that. It's almost big enough. There we go. There's one. There's two. I don't know if anybody's going to be asking why am I ear clamping these when I might be taking them off. I just trust ear clamps a little bit more. They're a little bit kind of a pain, but the other clamps I have, I don't feel they're strong enough for it. Alright. Sorry if anybody's getting sick, I'm looking around for my glove. There it is. It's a little gusty here today. Here we go, that's a lot better. That makes me feel better there. There's a little grease. Get it in there. Like I said, I still want to put new fuel injectors in here. I think these fuel injectors are okay, but I think they're could use some new ones. You don't want to be a He-Man with that because you'll end up bending this bracket's pretty weak up here for some reason. I don't know. But gotta get that out. So there we go. So we got a new pressure line or new fuel line on there. Go. So I don't know. So what? So got the new coolant temp sensor in, got the new fuel line on, got the new vacuum advance line on. Next thing. Man, this thing is, shocks are terrible in this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order new struts and everything. Anyways, the one thing I didn't do, and you should always do whenever doing anything electrical, is disconnect your battery. I didn't. My bad. So I'm gonna do that now because I want to reset the check engine light on this car. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to clean off the throttle body a little bit. I don't think it's sticking, but a good thing to always do. Clean up all the grime and dirt and junk and all the other crap that's on here. And then go ahead, we'll put everything back together and we'll give it a test drive and see how everything works. Alrighty, so I got it as clean as I could. I wasn't trying to clean it completely, but got a little bit of the grime and gunk off. So got to throw the throttle body back on. There's the throttle body gasket in here. Alrighty, so I got these two hoses back on. I'm gonna go ahead, throw the hose on there for the intake. Phone call. Alrighty, so I got these two lines back on, so we'll go ahead, we'll throw the intake pipe back on. Alright, there's that. On there. On here, goes right here. Go. Okay. There we go. All looks right. that. Look, let's turn it on, see what happens. Something don't seem right there, but let's see how she does. Alright, so I got everything back together, got the battery reconnected. I still think there's something not quite right with this, how this throttle is, but we'll find out. I don't know. Anyways, let's turn it on, get started up, make sure the fuel lines aren't leaking, make sure everything else works right, and go from there. Oh. Let's spray in here. Oh, hey, forgot to, that's dumb of me. So I forgot to redo the Schrader valve. Let's go ahead and redo that real quick. That was stupid. I was trying to figure out what in the world was spraying all over the place. And it was gas coming out of this. Okay, we'll get this tightened back up. Alright, now let's try it. It's an example of I'm not perfect. Okay, take two. I'll warm up a little bit here. Make sure nothing's leaking. See the fuel coming out of there. Coming out of the pressure regulator. Oh, there we go. So, got the new coolant temp sensor in. The check engine light is now off. Hopefully it stays off. Got a new hose on for the vacuum vents. Got a new hose on for the fuel line. And yeah, there we go. So got a little maintenance done on that. I do need to work on maybe getting my chainsaw and stuff started up also. So I guess while this is warming up, let's start a chainsaw. Should start up. I don't want to sit for that long, so. One, two, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Voila. This is gonna be the fun one. So I had a lot of problems last summer getting this thing to work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
chainsaw started up. This thing started up surprisingly. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed what I did today. If you do, like, comment, subscribe. This Volvo is going on a big journey hopefully this spring and summer. So I gotta get a checklist for the suspension done, because this front suspension is shot. The whole suspension system shot in this car. I do want to take the motor out and refresh it over the summer. I mean over next winter. And actually I forgot to mention I still have my RD sitting in there. That needs to get some parts done on it. So, yep, there we are. Yeah, I got nothing else for you guys, so have fun, good night, and get out there and have an adventure.